One tick. Just going live on YouTube here. It's always a little bit of a delay. Oh, looks like we're live now. Hey guys, Neville Appel here from Snowboard Addiction. We're live on YouTube right now. We are doing our Thursday afternoon live sessions. It's 5 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. I don't know what time it is in Australia where you are, Dean. Or
Midday.
Julian, I'm not sure what time it is there either. Um,
Eight.
8 o'clock. Okay, you're East Coast. Quebec. Right. Okay, cool. Today's session, the focus of today's session is going to be some pretty advanced tricks. We're going to be talking about pretzels. Pretzel is a way to 270 out of tricks. We're also going to be talking about change ups if we get time. We'll see how the session goes. Towards the end of these sessions here, the tricks do get quite advanced. So it does not matter if you can do all these tricks on boxes and rails. But you can learn these tricks in a buttering format, which is generally a much easier way to learn them on snow than it is on rails and boxes. Okay, cool. First thing I want to just touch on really quickly is Julian, one of our students, had a little wrist injury this week. And I wanted to talk about how to prevent wrist injuries for anyone who's watching this video and also in the future is a wrist injury is quite common in snowboarding, especially as you're learning. And the reason is because if you catch an edge on a snowboard, it can throw you down to the ground pretty quickly. Now, when you get thrown down to the ground, this is how you're going to prevent injuries in the future. Is if you land with your hands open, which is our natural way of doing stuff. If you land with your hands open, you're more likely to get a wrist injury because anything that goes like this and jars your wrist is where you get a wrist injury. So um, Elijah and Dean, do this right now. Julian, don't do anything uncomfortable. But I want you to play with your wrist right now and feel how delicate it is in that motion. So if you fall and you put a hand down and you get that jarring motion, that's what a lot of the wrist injuries come from. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about how to prevent that. It's a bit of an unnatural feeling, but the way to prevent it is this. If you take your hands now and just tap your wrist now, tap your wrist, change up your hands, and like even just try to twist your wrist, try to like fold your wrist into weird directions while you're clenching a fist. And what you're going to notice is that you've got like 5 times more strength in your wrist and your wrist muscles by clenching a fist. And so if you were to fall with clenched muscles, which I know is kind of hard to learn, you're way less likely to like take an impact that's going to actually injure any of this wrist bones or wrist muscles. Okay, so it doesn't even matter how you fall, but if you were to punch the snow with a clenched muscle, that's what's going to help prevent any wrist injuries. It also goes for other things as well. You know, it's also going to be more protective on your shoulders and your arms than this. If you fall with your arms waving out, you're more likely to get a shoulder injury or an arm injury or any kind of injury. Whereas if you're feeling strong, like you're in a fight, and you take the ground like you're in a fight, that process of clenching muscles is going to be quite protective. So keep that in mind. Anyway, we are now going to talk about sessions we're doing today. If you've got gear, let's get strapped in. We did a pretty intense session last week on 270s out, and we were talking about all the different variations of 270s out. Now, we don't have time to recap the whole session, but we do have time to see if we can get a couple right off the bat. So this is kind of a recap on last week's session. There was 4 main tricks. I'm going to start right now. This is kind of a warm-up slash recap of last week's session. I'm going to start with tail slide 270. Tail slide 270 out. Okay. So if you want to get all the details of how to learn this trick, watch last week's session because we break it down in detail. Here we go. Tail slide 270. Okay. I'm going to do one more of this tail slide 270. Blind landing like you're doing a front three. If you're having trouble on the warm-up, don't worry because you can always go back and rewatch last week's session. It is on the live section of our YouTube channel. Now, to take this warm-up one step further, I'm now going with the rail behind me. So I've jumped all the way over, rail is on my back side. I'm going to do the exact same motion, exact same trick, but I'm doing it from the backside approach. So this one would be called a back blunt 270 out. So back blunt 270. It takes a bit more motion to this, a bit more movement. Backside entry, going all the way into blunt and adding a 270 out the end. Oh, you're doing front blunt, Elijah. Go with the rail on behind you. There we go. There we go. Back blunt. That was back blunt to fakie. It's a good warm-up trick. And Dean, it looks like you're doing it no balance bar, which is totally cool. That's a good stepping stone approach. But except Dean, that was front blunt. Dean, that was so this one here, I should see the front of your body. There we go. There we go. So okay. Now what we're going to do is if you jump back onto the bar, back with the bar behind in front of you, we're now going to go into almost like a backside 360 with a jib in the middle. This is going to be called the front blunt 270. So this is where it kind of spins like a backside 3. Again, I'm not explaining this very well because we did a whole session on it last week. But if you watch me, back blunt, well, front blunt 270 carries around in the same direction. Front blunt 270. The important thing with this is the timing. And the timing only comes with practice. You can practice this as a buttering trick as much as you need to. In fact, I've got some really good videos on YouTube or on Addiction Plus that explain how to do this as a buttering trick on a snowboard. One more, front blunt 270, front side blunt slide 270 out. And because I've done 3, I'm going to move on to the last one of our 4 tricks we started covering last week. One of the more awkward ones here is behind you, backside. It's going to go back tail 270. Backside, tail slide, 270 out. Looks like this. Back, tail, 270. That's it, Dean. Oh, looks like Elijah's doing a change up on it, on his. Okay. Back, blunt, backside, tail slide, 270. Back tail, 270. Okay. Now, because we did a little warm up, I know this is pretty intense. These are pretty advanced tricks. We're going to go into what today's session is. In today's session, the first part of it is pretzels. What a pretzel is a 270 out, but it's in the opposite direction. So all those 4 that we just did, they keep moving in the same direction, like a 360. Whereas what I'm going to teach you right now is a 270 out in the opposite direction. So, for example, if I do right now what's called a front board, front side board slide, you'll notice that I go front side board slide, and then I come back out forwards. So I come in and I come back out forwards. And that's the most common way to do a front side board slide. Now, before we 270 out, everybody, let's do some front side board slides. So front side board slide, back out forwards. Front side board slide, back out forwards. Now, when you do a front side board slide, back out forwards, you're using this concept called counter rotation, which means that your upper body and lower body are twisting in equal and opposite directions. So if you actually notice closely, I'm starting with my hands a little bit towards the back of my board. Then as I do the front board, I've got my hands over the front of my board. And then when I finish, I'm back on the back of my board. So it's like, boom, opposite, opposite, land. Okay? Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to do that front board, but instead of coming out forwards, we're going to come out with a 270. Now, this is quite an intense trick. It's called a pretzel because you have to twist up a lot. It's like, you know how a pretzel is very twisted? That's what you're doing in this trick, is you have to twist your body a lot. So it looks like this. Front board, pretzel. Now, how you do that is, and it's going to be easiest if we take the rail away to start with. Take the rail away. When I do a front board to forwards, front board out forwards, I'm using a little bit of counter rotation, a little bit of counter rotation. So relaxed and back. If I want a pretzel out, I have to use a lot of counter rotation. I have to really use a lot. What's the difference? So if I go into my 90, instead of just being here, I actually need to be like this. See how twisted I am? Because I need to be able to jump a 270 out. So it's quite a lot of counter rotation. That's correct, Dean. That's correct. So everybody do this. Jump into 90, open up as much as you can, like really look downhill, and then see if you can counter rotate a 270 out. Quite hard to do. Quite hard to do. It takes a lot of twisting. It takes a lot of twisting through your midsection of your body. So let's go again. I'm going to go 90 degrees, open up as much as I can, and then jump 270. Okay. So a couple of tips that make this a little bit easier. When it comes to a rail, doing it over your front foot actually makes it a little bit easier, because when you go over your front foot, you can actually kind of jump off that front foot to push away from the rail. So even on the ground here, when I'm doing it on no bar at all, watch how I'm going to put a little bit of weight on my front foot on purpose. See how I'm a little bit over the front? Gives you more room to twist, so that you can push a 270 out. Now, that becomes more pronounced when you're actually snowboarding. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab this rail and I'm going to try it out. Now, there's one more tip also that makes it a little bit easy. I'll show you it without the rail, is that instead of going 90 degrees, you can cheat it a little bit. So I can go a little bit kind of 45. See how my board is not quite 90? If I 45 it, it means there's less that I have to spin out. That's it. Okay, Julian, you got this? That's it. So the more correct your 90-degree position is, the harder it's going to be. If you cheat it a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier to end the trick. So keep that in mind. Watch me. I'm going to do a cheated one. 45 and like almost a 270. So if I take the rail now, here I go. Remember, the two ways of cheating are a little bit less than 90 degrees and making sure you use your front foot. You want to come past? Catch you later.
See you later.
Here I go. Front board, pretzel. A lot of counter rotation in this trick. That's, yeah, use a little bit less not than 90 degrees, Julian. It'll make it a bit easier for you. Because when you go full 90, it makes it hard. Pretzel. Front board pretzel. Now, looking good, Julian, looking good. Okay, let me see it, Dean. That's it. That's actually a really good movement, Dean. That was looking really good. A lot of counter rotation happening. Do it again. I want to see if I can pick you apart. That's good. That looks good. You want to try it on the bar?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that looked really good on the mat. I'm watching you. Remember, when you get into that front board, you got to open up. You got to open, 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 open. That's it. Front board pretzel. Front board pretzel. A little bit front foot, Julian will help you. A little bit of front foot weight as you're in the front board. More open. When you get on the bar, Dean, you got to open up more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're super close there. You almost had that position. Front board pretzel.
Ah,
Notice
I got a
how I'm
180.
cheating. I'm cheating mine occasionally. I'm not getting full 90 on purpose. Because if I just
Yeah.
get on that bar 45, makes it easier to get that pretzel out. Okay. That's it, Dean. Makes it easier. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the opposite pretzel, which is a backboard pretzel. So let's do some backboards first, no pretzel. So bar behind you, just jumping up into the backboard. Backboard, out forwards. Backboard, out forwards. Doing it a few times. Backside board slide, out forwards. Now, one thing to note, this pretzel out is going to be easier on your front foot. So even on your back boards, try to do a little bit on your front foot. Backboard on my front foot, come out normal. Backboard on my front foot, come out normal. That front foot allows you to push away more. You can even try this. Backboard on the front foot, pop out. Backboard on the front foot, pop out. And then when you're really feeling it, the only real difference you have to do is you have to crank up that counter rotation. So take the bar away, simulate that back foot, but crank up the counter rotation so that you can 270 out with a blind landing. So no bar right here. We're jumping 90 degrees. That's it, Julian. And 270 with a blind landing. You got it. That's it. 270 blind landing. Here we go. So I go 90. I really crank up my counter rotation. Crank it up a lot. 270 blind landing. Dean, watching you. That's it. That's it. Do that again.
Sorry.
So just to start with, Dean,
Sorry. Out of the way.
do it with more of the board flat to start with.
Yeah.
The front foot technique does work, but right now you're probably doing more front foot than you need right now at this point. Because when you get on the bar, you still want the board to be flat, even though you're a bit front foot weight. That's it. 270 blind landing. A lot of twist. A lot of twist.
Yeah.
A lot of twist. Now, if you bring the bar back, before you go for it, do a couple of board slides. Just board side out normal. Board slide, out normal. And then when it feels good, board slide, pretzel. When it feels good. Now, when you want to go for the pretzel, you got to use more counter rotation, substantially more. That's the trick. Not momentum.
Yeah.
Dean used a bit of momentum on that one.
I did that on purpose to see how it would feel.
Well, it works in this environment, but when you're on a rail, it doesn't work.
Because I can't get momentum while riding. Yeah.
So like that's kind of like cheating the movement.
Yeah. So I want to make sure I'm keeping that balance. But
Well, you want to keep that counter rotation. Counter rotation.
Oh.
That's it. It's all the whole twist out happens with your midsection, your abdomen, where your upper body and lower body twist against each other. So if you watch me, I'll go backside board slide, out forwards, backside board slide, out forwards, and I'm really focusing on that counter rotation. Backside board slide, pretzel. So I warmed myself up to it. I was like, 1 backside board slide, 2 backside board slides. And then I was like, okay, let's get that counter rotation and pretzel. Backside board slide. I'm going to do more counter rotation. And now I'm going to get it on this third one. Boom, pretzel. Backboard pretzel. A lot of twist. A lot of twist. Don't bounce. Like the bouncing works here, Dean, but it doesn't work in real life. When you're out on a rail, you're not going to be bouncing, getting ready. You're going to be sliding, and then you're going to be popping out.
Right, both feet. I did a lot better that time. So.
That one looked good, Julian. That looked a really good 270 out on that one. We've got our one-armed man schooling us. He's getting the good tricks. We got Elijah's having technology issues. Technology issues. But he can hear me. I can see from that smile that he can hear me. Grabbing a drink. All right. You can absolutely butter this trick on the mountain too, Julian. You can be cruising around on an edge, boom, butter out the 270. Front board pretzel, backboard pretzel. Turn these into little buttering tricks. Really improves your control on a snowboard.
You can tell I'm a light year away from just doing a 90 degree on the slope. You can tell I'm not ready on the slope.
Yep.
I can't picture what I'm gonna do. So I'm just doing 180, 180. We do 360s to get the moves in.
Yep.
To not risk the 90 degree catching an edge.
Yeah, definitely. This pretzel stuff's pretty hard. It's quite an advanced trick. Not gonna lie.
And the 90 to 70 we were doing before, like here I got it in my head, but on the slope,
Yeah.
I just can't picture it for now.
Cool. Now I'm going to give you one more tip for what actually makes this easier. It's kind of funny, but this trick is actually easier with an extension. And there's two reasons why it's easier. The first reason is it's because it's slightly higher. It gives you a little bit more time to get the spin around, which is important in this trick. But the other thing is because the rail top is rounded, it lets you angle your board a little bit more. So instead of being completely flat with it, having an angle actually helps to push away for pretzel tricks. So it's actually far easier for me to pretzel on a top piece than it is on the flat piece. Because instead of having my board completely flat, I can actually angle it down on purpose like I just did there, so you can push away with your front foot. You'll see my board's angled down. That's how you do it in real life. Front board, push away to pretzel. So on most tricks, the top piece makes it more complicated. On this trick, because it's so advanced, it actually becomes easier on a more advanced piece of rail or a more advanced piece of equipment. That was my front board pretzel. I'll do one more and then I'll move to backboard. Front board, push away, pretzel. And then same thing on the backboard. So this time I'm going to be angling my board down this way. I'll just do board side a couple times. See how my board was angled downhill on purpose. On purpose, because that allows you to push away from the rail, weight over my front foot. Oh, that one did not work. Here we go, backboard pretzel. Backboard pretzel. Angling downhill with the board on purpose, pushing away with my front foot. Makes it easier to get that pretzel out. Watching you, Dean. You got the right idea. You got the right idea. You just got to get the timing right.
Woo. Just slide over here instead.
Yeah. And make it look easy. Lots of practice. That was super close, Dean. Super close. If you counter rotated more, you would have had that. That looked good, Julian. Looked super clean. Really good counter rotation. Good control of your core muscles.
It's easier for me on the backside.
Yep. That's good. That's the movement. Yeah, your muscles are working for you in that direction.
Okay.
Now he's going for the front board, I think. Nope.
Which were the front side, but is it the...
That's it. That's it. And now twist your whole body to look at me. Twist your whole body to look at me. That's it. Twist your whole body. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's how it's done. You got to get that weird feeling of that full counter rotation where you're looking all the way downhill, twisting through those core muscles. Yep. That's it. That's it. That's front board pretzel. That's how you do it.
The front side is, that's front side, back side, back board slide. That's a
That one
board
there that you're
slide.
doing is called a front board.
Front board slide. Is
Yep.
it? Okay.
Even though you're sliding backwards, it's called a front board.
Because the front foot goes over.
Well, it's
Oh.
technically it's because as you approach it, the rail's in front of you. That's why
Yeah,
they
yeah.
call it a front side, board side.
Yeah, but the board slide versus lip slide.
So I'll have, if I'm going to explain that, I'll have to come to a rail.
Yeah.
So right now where I'm standing, the rail is in front of me. So
Yeah,
everything from this side is going to be called a front side trick, which is why
Yep.
this would be called front side board slide. And this would be called front side lip slide. So if the rail's in front of you, it's a front side trick.
Yeah, yeah.
What if it's
This
a
is
spin onto the rail?
board versus lip, and I get confused which foot is what.
So if you're lifting your back foot up and over the rail, that's lip slide.
Lip
If your
Yep.
front foot is going over the rail, that's board slide.
board. Okay.
Dean,
Over.
you're asking about if you're spinning on, that's too complicated.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I definitely haven't wrapped my head around that yet. It's just
Yeah.
something I know I haven't figured out.
You're not at that level. Like to even worry about that, it's just going to confuse the hell out of you.
Yeah, I tried once. It confused the hell out of me.
No, there's enough tricks for you to learn right now with the basics before you need to convince yourself, talk about like 270s on and spinning on and stuff.
Well, even just like a board slide. No, you just explained that. But if I'm just doing a 180, I can do a backside 180.
Yep.
Or a front side 180.
Yep.
But if I'm doing a 180 onto a rail that's in front of me, and I'm doing a backside 180 onto the rail that's in front of me, is it a backside or a front side? Because the rail's in front of me, so it's just front side, but I'm spinning back way, so it's the backside.
Honestly, Dean, I would not worry about it because you can confuse the hell out of yourself. Are you 180ing onto rails? I wouldn't worry about it.
No, sir.
But you do need to know the names of the tricks because this confuses people.
Yeah.
Basically, for all skateboarding and snowboarding tricks, if the rail's in front of you as you approach it, they'll call that a frontside trick. Frontside board slide, backside board slide, backside lip slide, frontside lip slide.
Yeah.
Backside 50-50, frontside 50-50. Backside tail press, frontside tail press.
Now he's just showing off.
No, I'm just showing you that that's how the naming comes about.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretzel is a pretty hard trick. I've got another subject that's much easier that we can jump into. It's not necessarily easier, but it's probably a bit more fun because some of the tricks I'm about to show you are actually very realistic for even basic riders to do if you get an easy box. Some of the tricks I'm going to show you right now are quite easy. We're going to go into what's called change-ups. And what change-ups are is any trick combination of two different tricks together. So the first change-up that I would teach people to do would be a 50-50 changed up to a board slide. Nice and easy. Let's do it. 50-50, board slide, out. So I'm using counter rotation for the board slide. You got to be careful, Dean, because you didn't use counter rotation. So you go 50-50, then I counter rotate, and then I counter rotate to come back out forwards. Yeah. Now you can also do this. This is the exact same trick. You can go 50-50 front board. There's a change up, two tricks. 50-50 front board. So try it out. I'm going to start throwing change ups at you. There's a lot of change ups. I want you guys to see if you can keep up with me. 50,
What's the difference between this front board and the back board you did?
Okay, so this one here would be 50-50 change up to lip slide. You ready? 50-50 change up to lip slide.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, everyone do this. 50-50 change up to lip slide. Now I want you to go 50-50 change up to front board. We're going to do each one twice or 3 times. 50-50 change up to front board. Front side 50-50 change up to front board. Okay. Now I'm going to go tail press, change up to front board. Tail press, change up to front board. You got it. We're doing it again. Tail press, change up to front board. One more time. Tail press, change up to front board. Okay, now this one's going to be tricky. I want you to watch me. Watch me for this. We're going to go 50-50, change up to switch 50-50. Watch my body. Watch my body. Open up, counter rotation, out. Nicely done, Julian. And out, Dean. Watch as I jump in. As soon as I jump in, I open up, counter rotate, and off. Dean, open up sooner. As soon as you jump on, I want to see that open up. Open up as you're jumping in. There we go. So that was a 50-50 front one out.
Yeah.
You know, 50-50 front one to switch 50-50. 50-50 front one, switch 50-50. Now this one, Elijah, this one's for you, Elijah. We're doing the exact same trick, but we're going to go 50-50, 270 to switch front board. This is an advanced one. This is an advanced one. So if you watch me, Elijah, 50-50, 270 to switch front board and out. Careful of your wrist, Julian. Stay on your feet. So I've just ratcheted it up. So I went, instead of doing a 180, I jumped and changed up to a 270. You have to use a lot more effort to get that to happen. That's why I said it's a trick for our young gun, Elijah. There he goes. There he goes. So we actually just did 3 change-ups. And I want to emphasize it because they're kind of like stepping stone. I went bam, bam, bam. First one was 50-50 lip slide. That was easy, not much to it. 50-50 lip slide. Next one was 50-50, 180, 50-50. More effort required. And the third one was maximum effort. Same movement, but maximum effort. Same thing, but maximum effort. I just went first step, second step, third step, 3 change-ups, but they were the exact same motion, all 3 of those, just more effort. Okay. Now we're going to do a couple of backside ones. So I want you to have the rail behind you. We're going to go backside 50-50, change up to back lip. Backside 50-50, change up to back lip. Oh, you did backside board slide there, Julian. Backside 50-50, change up to back lip. There we go. Backside 50-50, change up to back lip. Now we're going to go backside tail press, change up to back lip. Same trick, but making it more difficult. Backside tail press, change up to back lip. We're using the same motions, but I'm guiding you through more difficult change-ups just by increasing the skill level. So we're going to go backside tail press, change up to back lip. Okay, I'm watching you, Elijah. You got a better one. I'm going to watch you again. Backside tail press, change up to back lip. Nice. I know you can do it better. Give me one more, Elijah. Give me one more. Nice. That was better. Okay. Now I'm going to make this a bit harder for you. Backside 50-50, change up to switch 50-50. Let's do it the easy way first. Watch this. When I say the easy way, what I mean is it's a frontside 180. So backside 50-50, open up, change up, switch 50-50. Open up your body, change up, switch 50-50. That's good, Dean, but you can do it a bit quicker. You can get into that position right as you get up there. One more time. Backside 50-50, open up, change up, land it. Should be backside 50-50, so you should be holding up on your backside. There we go, Dean, you got it. This is good for you, Dean, because it's going to make your legs so much stronger when you're up there snowboarding. All this practice is going to do wonders for your actual riding. Good. Okay, now this is going to be harder. Elijah, this is more of a you one. We're going to do backside 50-50, change up the other way. We're going to go the opposite way. Backside 50-50, change up and out. Counter-rotating a backside 180. Quite tricky to do. This is a hard trick. Backside 50-50, change up, switch 50-50, but the hard way. So I did not open up my body. I closed up my body, but still counter-rotated. So I went up, I'll slow it down for you. I went up backside 50-50. Instead of opening up my body, I actually closed up my body, and then I counter-rotated a backside 180 from here to switch 50-50. Backside 50, backside 50-50, backside 180 with counter rotation, switch 50-50, and off. Quite tricky. I'm throwing a lot of tricks at you. Nice. Nice, Julian. Nice, Julian. Okay, I'm taking a quick drink break because I'm about to throw in some new change-ups on you guys. Some new change-ups. Now, the change-ups that I'm about to do, I'm going to do some with rotation, and I'm going to do some with counter rotation. I'm going to start with the counter rotation ones first because I feel like it's a little bit easier. We're going to go lip slide, change up to front board. So it looks like this. Lip slide, change up to front board, back out. So I went counter rotation, counter rotation, counter rotation. Counter rotation, counter rotation, counter rotation. Correct. So again, I go lip slide, change up to counter rotation, counter rotate back out forwards. Lots of twisting. Twisting in, twisting change up, twisting out. Nice. Looking good, Julian. Now you can do that in the opposite direction. So now I've got the rail in front of me. I'm going to go front board, lip slide. So I'm just changing up the order. Front board, lip slide, out. Rail's in front of me. Front board, lip slide, out. Front board, lip slide, out. Again, we're using counter rotation in, counter rotation change up, counter rotation out. Lip slide, or front board, lip slide, back out. Now, this is going to be confusing. Well, it's not that bad. We're now going to use rotation. We're going to go around in a circle. So, the first one I'm going to do, it looks like this. Tail slide, change up, and around. I just did a 360. So instead of doing counter rotation, counter rotation, counter rotation, I used rotation, rotation, rotation. So I'm going to go tail slide, change up, out. My upper and lower body move in the same direction the whole way through this trick. They go round, round, round. That is it, Julian. That's exactly it. I go tail slide, around, and around. Round, round, round. I really like this trick in real life. It looks cool. Now Julian just did it in the opposite way without me even talking about it, but that's fine. That's where we're going next. Right now I'm doing it front side, like I was spinning a front three. Front side. So it's like I'm spinning a front side 360. I go up onto my tail, I change up, and I continue around. And you guys will notice that if you keep doing it in one direction, you get a bit dizzy. So now we're going to mix it up and go the opposite way. So now it's like a backside three. Julian was already doing this. I'm now going to spin like a back three. So I'm winding up like I'm going to do a back three. I'm going to rotate in, rotate the change up, rotate to finish. Rotate in, rotate the change up, rotate to finish. My one wasn't that good. I'm going to do it again. Rotate in, rotate the change up, rotate out. All the way around. End up being in the 360. You end up right where you started most of the time, except I kept going over the other side. Rotate it. Oop, that was not a good one. I need a drink.
Is it better to continue the rotation or do three rotations? Or is it better that it's one all movement?
It's a bit of both, because your upper body will go quite fluid, but your lower body goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I mean the height, the shoulders.
The shoulders and upper body, it's ideal if it goes in a smooth motion, because that's what carries your momentum around.
Yeah.
But the lower body, it's perfect if it goes bam, bam, bam. So 1, 2, 3 on the lower body. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. Right now, your upper body continued on a smooth path. Your lower body goes 1, 2, 3, which is what you should do. That's how it looks the best.
Okay.
If you have a very stiff body and you're going like, huh, 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 that doesn't actually look good. That's not how it works on a snowboard. On a snowboard, what actually makes the trick possible is that fluid motion that you're carrying through, and that has to be carried through mostly with your upper body.
Sometimes to practice the muscle, I do it without arms. That's why.
Yeah, if you do it without your arms, that's not super realistic.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's going to be more stiff. Whereas you actually want that upper body to disconnect. They all move in the same direction, but it's moving at slightly different times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's been a lot of tricks. So as you can see, there's a ton of change-ups, and you can really play with it. There's so many different variations of what you can do. You can do everything with rotation or counter rotation. You can do things on your front feet or your back foot. You can enter from the front side or the back side. You can do it regular or switch. You can do it with a tail press or a nose press. There's literally hundreds of combinations. You find out which ones you kind of like and you start playing with them. Now, these don't have to be that hard. If you find a really simple box on the mountain, some of these change-ups are really easy, such as 50-50, change up to board side, or 50-50, change up to front board. Those ones are really easy, and they're actually cool looking. They make your tricks look cool. Much better than like, let's say if you have a rail that has like a kink, so an up-down, rather than going 50-50, 50-50, and that's it, quite often what you do is you go 50-50, change up, board slide, and that just makes the trick look so much cooler. Or 50-50, change up, front board. Those are your basic ones. And if you start getting better, you can do like, okay, I'm going to do a board side on the way up, change up, front board on the way down. That's a bit harder. You have to use a little bit more counter rotation to make that happen. So another one would be like 50-50, change up, switch 50-50. You do a little 180 between the thing, all using counter rotation. 50-50 up, open up your body, front side 180 with counter rotation, switch 50-50 down. These are variations of simple-ish change-up tricks. Elijah, have you done any change-ups in real life? He's on the floor. I don't even know if he can hear me. Yeah, he's getting up.
Yeah, I've done like on a DFD and stuff.
What's one of
Like
your favorite?
50-50, the flat, down flat, and then backboard.
That's one of your favorite ones, 50-50 change up to backboard?
Yeah, and then like 50-50, change up to switch 50-50 with
Nice.
a front side 180.
Good. That's the easier way, front side.
Haven't done too many others.
Yep. So you're probably at the stage where you could try to do some of those ones where you're like lip slide, change up to front board. So using rotation. Or switchboard slide, change up to front board. So you use rotation to do two different change ups.
Yeah.
Julian, try not to pause too much with your upper body because the upper body should flow a little bit. It keeps that momentum, the upper body.
Yeah, I countered the second one there.
Cool.
For me, when I get on a box and I tell myself I'll do a shifty, I visualize it, I get on the box and I freeze completely. I think that if I'm going to move, I'll slip out. So I'm at that stage.
All right, just loosen up my feet. 45 minutes of jibbing with you guys. Hard work. Okay, so that was the focus of our session today. We covered a lot. We covered how to do pretzels. We covered how to do some basic change-ups. We have another session next Thursday, 5 p.m. Dean, you're going to be in-house, right? You're coming personal session, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Dean is going to be in Whistler. He's coming in for the live session. And next Thursday's one is our last week. Elijah, are you giving your hands up because you wanted to ask a question or are you just balancing? I saw your hand up.
Just balancing.
Just balancing. Okay, cool. Next week is a jam session. So what we're going to do is we're jamming tricks. We're jamming all the stuff we learned throughout this series of live sessions. And you know what? Next week is the last one of this series of live sessions. So I hope not only our regulars show up, but hopefully we get some other people who are watching the replay show up to next week's session because it's going to be a good one. And it's going to be the last one for a little while. And I'm not leaving you guys. I'm just going to be putting my focus on making tutorials on the mountain. I actually filmed a lot of tutorials this week. We've got about 6 new videos we made this week that'll be coming out over the next couple of months, and more of that to come. Before I sign, I'm going to sign up the live session. Any of the students are in the class here. You guys can stick around and keep asking me questions if you want. And then I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. I am Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction.